Well, good afternoon, everybody, or shall I say good morning? It's not quite afternoon yet, but I'm rushing to get there. I just want to show you some of the stuff I've been up to, what I'm busy still finishing. These little angels, right? Hang on, let me just get this glue on. I thought, well, I need to make a video, but I also need to finish this. I should do both at the same time, and then I can show you what I've been up to. Right, let that sit there for a bit. Ew, super glue. Right, so anyway, since Monday, if you've already visited the Facebook page on Monday, I posted some photographs of some of the things I'm going to show you today. Oh, that super glue is burning my skin. But this I haven't shown you because this I've just been doing over the past few days. And this is for an order. I won't be doing the mantle nativities for selling this year. This is just for someone else. But I'll show you when I'm done. Almost completely done. This is at the end of it. This is always the fussy bit, right at the end, doing the finishing and making sure it's sturdy and done. Okay, let's close that bit off because that needs full concentration. We're working with glue that could ruin the whole thing if I spill it and get it wrong. Okay, so almost done here again. As you can see, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. I'm just tidying up the edges here quick to make sure it's nice and tidy and smooth edged. Right, there we go. One wooden angel. Right, these are made of pine. Don't know if you can see that. Right, and not in that camera so much, but you can still see the wood grain in there, and sometimes, you know, it's lovely to have those wood grains. And this has been pyrographied with a little bit of ivy and holly on there, and a little bit of decoration on the wings, and they're all different, even though they're all similar, but they're all very different. This one's just got holly, but the way it's put on is slightly different with all. Okay, that one's finished. I'm not finished the others yet. This one's ivy. She's ivy. Yeah. This one's also holly, but again different to the other holly. If you can see, they're all got slight differences. And this one has got some of the lovely conifer on, because that's an evergreen and used on Christmas trees, so it's perfectly applicable for Christmas. It's got conifer and holly on that one. So I'll finish up the felt on the bottom in a minute, just to make sure it's a lovely smooth round edge. The wings have been a hole drilled into the body and the picture pin put right the way through and glued in so it stays stiff. The paint's obviously, as you know, acrylic, and the varnish as well, and they each have a simple little face on them, not a complicated one, not like some of those I've been doing, like that one. See, I've made a star on that one. Not quite done yet because I don't know what I'm doing with the veil, but yeah, those ones I try to avoid doing so much. These fairies, which I did last year, some of, they did sell very well. People did like them. So the fairies will be done the same with the pyrography. I was doing them on the block painting like I did. Well, I haven't got any out at the minute, but basically they were done in similar kind of styles and metallic paints and all pretty swirly stuff. But it just took so long, we'd never get the money back for them, or the hours you put in. People just wouldn't pay the money. Even this, as it is without the painting, just like that, to that stage is more than an hour's work. So think about minimum wage in an hour. That's without the painting. So yeah, we need to figure out ways of doing this without making a loss all the time. So what we've done is thinking about that one now. We have decided, other than order things like that, which is a little mental nativity on basswood, felt on the bottom, that also needs tidying up. So that kind of thing is just an order. We won't be doing things like that. It's a bit too much. We'll do, if we do, we've got a few nativities of Russian doll style. We've got nativities that we will finish with a sealer and sand it smooth and then sell them as paint your own and have just 1 or 2 painted examples. So that's what we're going to do, the paint your own. Do you remember the little elves that we did before? Well, we decided that would be simple enough and quick enough to turn them, and then I will seal them, sand them smooth and prepare them, and people can, you know, paint their own whatever designs they like. Because if you go on pages like Google Images or Pinterest or something, there will be loads of different ideas, especially if you look at like the Russian doll shapes. You can do anything with this basic shape. You can paint it as you like. And to save us a lot of time and stop us losing so much money all the time, I think it, especially since I can only paint so much and the painting takes forever, I would never get everything painted ready. So a better idea is to paint some for selling, some for examples, and the rest for paint your own. So that's how we're going to conquer this year's little issues. And as I said, there's always a solution for every problem. So there's them. And then as you see, remember last week I was busy working on these. If you've been on the Facebook page, you'll have seen the photographs, but I haven't shown you them finished. Okay. I don't remember showing you them finished with the glitter on. If I have, forgive me. But there you go. I know I did photographs and posted them, but I don't know if I did a video of them finished. So there you go. Look at the little faces there. Okay, there's 2 of them. Similar but different. You see the faces, all right? This one is my favorite one. Look at that. Look at the holly on the side. Little elves. That one, look at the face on that one. Isn't that just so cute? I love that. And that one. So similar, but every single one of them individual and different. Okay, I've got to be quick now because there's only a short amount of battery life on this phone. Okay, this also I took photographs of and posted on Monday on Facebook, but I haven't on YouTube. A Trinket Box, right? It's very smooth finish on the bottom, as they all should be. So I don't need to do anything there to protect surfaces except just to make sure. These are like natural cracks that come in that knot there. They've been stabilized. But this lovely, these are all, this is made out of hazel wood, actually, a nice little hazel log. And that's the inside of the lid and the bowl part. And they fit nice and snugly. This bit is pine, but the rest of it is all hazel wood. It's really pretty and lovely. And I love the smell of that. Okay, and now these ones are rather special. I took photographs of these and posted on Facebook. We also showed some other friends who were able to handle it physically, and they said it was definitely lovely, and it is always best to handle things physically. Now, since these were made, this is also out of hazel, but it's from the bit just between the root and the stump, kind of the tops of the root ball, bottom of the trunk. And look at all the markings there, totally amazing. Now there are obviously some natural little gaps there and raised bits there, and looks like little gap there or there, and on the inside of the bowl, if you can see in there, I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of a kind of hole in there, but it doesn't go all the way through. So obviously this little bowl is pretty. It's gorgeous. It's lovely for putting stuff in and dry things, but you wouldn't be able to use it for wet foods. It's sealed with a food safe sealant, and I don't know if you can tell on the edge already, just since it was made by Saturday. See this edge there? As it's drying even more, most of it dried during the turning process, and it's been sitting for quite a while, this root ball. We've had it for very many months. But it does take a very long time for wood to dry out. But as it's drying, it's warping and getting a lovely natural shape that it dries to. It was perfectly smooth and regular when it was finished turning, but as it dries, it warps and gets lovely different shape to it, very organic and natural shape. So there it is. It's always a surprise what you get out of the wood when it's being turned. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, the first root ball we turned, it just shattered everywhere. It was just such a gappy bit of root ball. It just went everywhere. But this came out really lovely, a nice surprise. Now usually to use a root ball you'd have to stabilize it with stabilizing fluid, and it'd take a couple of weeks, and then you would have to dry it out again, and then you would have to, if it's too loose, you would have to fill things in with some resin or something like that, and then turn it. So it would take almost a month to prepare a proper root ball, to, if not more, before it can be even turned. So we found, I mean, this one, you can see this little hole. There's a hole there in that gap. Can you see? That goes right the way through. So this is ideal. It's a pretty bowl decoration, but it can be used for things like keys or bits and bobs, or even for snacks like crisps, because it is a food safe sealant and oil treated. So that bowl is lovely. And you've got this chalice I showed you a minute ago with all its beautiful markings, and I don't know if you can see that bit there. You might just see all these bits there. That looks like a kind of inky metallic silk colouring in the wood. It just shines. It's a bit like if you've ever seen watermark taffeta fabric, it looks like that. Look at that there. You can't really see it on the camera very well, but it just glistens like there's something metallic in the wood, but that's just the natural shine of it. Really lovely. And I imagine as this one dries as well, it'll also get a bit more warping on the shape of that and be more organic. So it's a nice little chalice. And then we've got a little goblet, a tiny one, where there's a natural crack happening in there, not going all the way through though, and it's not going to go any further. It's been stabilized there, and put some super glue in that. And then you've got some natural markings from the staining of the wood as it sits, and of course the lovely markings on that. And this one came out nice because it's kind of like two-tone, the bottom one color in the top, but it's all the same piece of wood, and it came out really lovely. And that I could imagine putting some salt in there and putting a little tea light in there, you know, or a candle or something, but in salt obviously, because it is wood, fire and wood, you know, that kind of thing. So yep, that is it. Those are lovely bits that we just completed. So we've got those in last week and the week before. We've got these little nativity things that we did this week, and I like to leave the faces blank. I don't like putting faces on things like that. It leaves it a bit more modern. So I've got to finish the felt on the bottom of them. And you've seen the elves now. You've seen the little tree hanging elves as well. So that's a catch up of what we've been doing. And as I said, the little bits that I was planning and thinking about doing involved this. And my son said to me, because he saw how much work I still had to do and it would never get done in time by November, he said, why don't you sell them as paint your own? And other people had mentioned paint your own stuff before, and I thought, well, we just couldn't do that because it just doesn't look as good, or wouldn't be as worth as much. And no, it won't be worth as much. We'd have to do a great deal more, but at least it's not the painting. It would still be easier or quicker than the painting, which we just never get our money back for the painting. unless it's, you know, I mean, we will obviously do some, but I think for our self-reliance journey and plan, thinking about the future, we will have to come up with something that we could do, you know, that would be worth doing as just one small stream of income. But yes, that's a much better idea, I think. And people can personalize it then themselves. So we could, when things are quiet, just, you know, make loads and loads and loads of stuff and prepare them ready, and then only paint a few things, and obviously for orders. So that makes more sense, and it's a bit better of a plan for the future. So between now and, when did I say it would be that we want to be ready for self-reliance? I said it was 3 more years now, wasn't it? Because we're into the 5-year plan already. In 2 years is 19, 18, 19, 20, so 2021. We've got to be completely ready. We've got time to build stock up, because that's how long it will take to make sure we've got enough to last a year. And yeah, so that's my thoughts. That's what's going on in my head. And in between that time, I've got a huge, like I said in the last video, actually, it's a huge amount of other stuff that I want to do and focus on as well. So resilience there. I know it's a lot of eggs in one basket, but hopefully manageable ones. And then we'll have a bit more resilience because we're not relying on just one source of income. And that will buy us our self-reliance and our independence. And that is the plan, people. That is the plan. We've got to find a way to do it, and we'll let you know how we get on. So until then, and until the next video, I will be crafting. And I'll see you again soon. Take care. Bye.